is a Power King economy tractor for a customer, and what the customer wants us to do is to put, go ahead, Blake.
Put a seat on the back of the thing.
So yeah, he wants to mount, what we have here is a second seat. He has some little guys as well, and he wants a second seat mounted somewhere here. So Blake and I right now are just figuring out the logistics of it, and coming up with a game plan on how to mount that. I want to be able, I want it to be able to be removed pretty easily if they want to take it on and off. So right now we're coming up with a design for that. What we're probably going to do is remove this existing bracket, and we're going to come up with some longer ones, and I think we're going to run them up like this, 2 of them, and then be able to have some holes up here, I don't know if you can see it, but some holes up here, and have a piece of box tubing that slides in between those 2, and then you can pin it so you can take it on and off. You think that's a good idea? All right, so that's probably what we're going to do there. So it's a matter of just measuring, fabricating, and cutting. Up here, there would only be probably 2 or 4 bolts holding that one piece on there if we came straight up and only mount it there. So there's a hole up here that I'd like to drill and tap so we can put a bolt in there. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts holding this thing on. Which if you got little guys riding around the back here, you don't want something letting go. So the more holding points we can have, the better, so someone doesn't get hurt. So we're gonna get some things measured and start cutting. First task is to get this guy off, and Blake's been working on that, right? We're gonna slowly get this off. There's 2 bolts on here, and they're pretty tight, so might have to give him a hand with it, but that's the game plan right now. So with the original mount off, what we got now is some 1/2-inch steel, and my plan is to put that on there. We're going to use 4 mounting holes, so we're going to drill 4 new holes in that, get that bolted down, and then we're going to take our 1/2-inch, this will be made out of 1/2-inch, this bracket. We got to measure off of this bracket here and trim it, off this template, I'm sorry. All right, so we're gonna have to take a little bit off of here, and the idea is to put 2 of these guys on it, and this is still gonna give us, right, we're still gonna have to do 1, 2, 3 holes here, the same height as the existing ones, and then up here we're probably gonna do 2 or 3 holes up here. And the idea behind that is, let me grab the box tubing. You got 2-inch box tubing, 1/4-inch wall thickness. And once that L bracket's there, you'll be able to slide this in. It'll sit there and pin it, okay? And then on top of this, I have another one of these, can't see it, another one of those seat springs. Blake's grabbing it, right? This will be the top, turn it like that for Dad. We'll be able to mount that on like that, put another seat on, and then even from this point up, we can have a T-handle for the little guys to hang on to, whatever. So it's gonna be pretty cool. But by taking these pins in and out here, we'll be able to remove this whole unit when they don't want to use it relatively quickly. So let's get started on that then. All right, we're here with the next step, and Blake's gonna tell you here what we did. Go ahead, buddy.
So we made a template, we cut it out, and then we traced it on the 1/2-inch steel and 1/2-inch steel. Now we're gonna cut it out with a plasma cutter.
Nice. All right, we're getting ready to cut this, and we're gonna be using a Hypertherm PowerMax 900. It's an older unit, but it's a good unit. I like to set up a guide so I get a nice straight cut, right, Blake? Mm-hmm. And 2 things I wanted to point out. One was the line work, and I hope it shows up here. But the line work, I like to take an extra consumable, right? An extra drag shield. It has a hole in it. It's got a target, bullseye right in the center. So if I know I want to cut exactly on that line, I can have this sitting there and it helps me line up this piece of steel exactly where I want it. So I can run that the whole way up and down, and I know that I'm going to have a straight cut and my cut's going to be exactly where I want it. The other thing I want to point out is we were at FabTech 2019 in Chicago, and this company, Armor, gave me one of these pair of pliers, auto-locking pair of pliers, and they are absolutely awesome. As you can see, it doesn't have the adjusting nut on there, so no matter, yeah, like these guys over here, which these guys are great with this table. But the cool thing about these guys is no matter what thickness I use these to clamp on, whether it's, you know, this is 1.5 inches, it adjusts by itself. So that's one thickness, all right? If I want to go to, you know, 1/4 inch thickness, I mean, this was 1/2 inch, now I'm going to 1/4 inch. It's the same tension on both of them, all right? And it's a really cool design. They make all kinds of clamps, and I really hope they can get me some more of them. They're absolutely awesome.
So now we're gonna cut the 1/2 inch steel with the plasma cutter.
Got the L brackets cut out. Now we have those radius corners to do, and to keep them both even and consistent, what are we doing, Blake?
I'm using this thing to make it so it's on the straight line.
We have man, you look like a piece of work. You're a cute kid. All right, buddy. You're on. I'm recording.
Wait, what?
I'm already recording. Oh no. Hey, what did we do?
We cut out the brackets and then we welded them together. So now we're gonna make.
Show us what did we do? We tack welded them together, right?
Yeah.
Tack welded them in 4 spots. We had some, nice cuts, but just like anything doing by hand, it's not perfect. So we're gonna take. What are we going to take now? We're going to take a grinder with, what kind of disc is this? Do you know? Sanding disc. These are Walter sanding discs. They are awesome. They got a bunch of samples of them through work, and I love them. But we're going to take that, all these plasma lines, torch lines. We're going to, yep.
What?
Stop making so many, because then we're gonna have to edit all of them.
What does that mean?
To drill all the holes that we need for our mounting points for the pins. Just got a mag-based drill here with annular cutters. We're going to blow through this. Still got this tack welded together, so it's 1/2 inch on 1/2 inch. We got 1 inch thick plate. And we're gonna get started here. I'll show you guys a little bit, real close up here what we got. I don't know if I can switch this. There we go. What we got everything punched out, and we'll go right down the line there and knock them all out. All right, so yeah, we got these 4 holes drilled on this side. The plate's gonna sit like that, right? That's gonna be our top mount, where the top mount for the hitch, where the four holes are, and the top 2 holes here are gonna be for the piece of box tubing that actually holds the seat. So, rolling right along. All right, here we are. We got everything mocked up, clamped in, squared up, and what I'm going to do now is lay a couple tacks here and here, and maybe one back there. Got a little bit of a gap, but you know, I beveled those pieces. And then once that's done, this mounting plate, we're going to take this over. Hi Daisy. Daisy, hi. Hi Blake.
Hi.
Hi Blake. Blake's still hanging in there. This is a project, and we're gonna set that plate there. We gotta drill a hole there and a hole there, and then come up with a top mount for this guy. We're gonna drill through that guy and get a stud sticking up underneath there, and then bolt that top to that spring, so it'll all be a solid unit connected. And then the box tubing, it's all downhill from there, really.
Can I watch on the phone? That's first tap.
Well, here we got the next phase. Everything is mocked up. Got the bottom plate in there. Sorry, I'm bumping stuff. Getting ready to drill that hole and that hole. But it's gonna be pretty sweet. So the box tubing is gonna slide into here and then get pinned in 1-2 spots. Alright, it's after 9 o'clock, Friday night. I'm gonna go in and relax, but this is where we're at. Let me switch this camera. This is where we're at. Got the mount done. Everything is lining up. Everything is beautiful, gorgeous, happy with it. Probably could pick this whole damn tractor up. Probably a little bit overkill, but you know, when it's I don't know. When someone's gonna be riding on something, I'd rather over-engineer it than under-engineer it. So that's that. The box tubing, the next step tomorrow. Gonna take this box. There's a burr on there. There's a burr on the end of this box. See it right there. Won't let it slide in. Let's flip it. Slide it. Let's try it this way. There we go. So we're gonna slide that in like that. Got to mark the holes and drill the holes. All right, we got everything mocked up from last night. It's a new day, right, Blake?
Right.
Blake's back in the garage today. And right now we got our box tubing in here. We got everything drilled, and all we're doing now is with a carbide tipped scribe, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna scribe our box tubing so we know where to cut. So zoom in there so they can see it, Blake. Hit that button. Got it? All right, so all we're gonna do is get some nice circles in there. Nice circles in there. And then I'll show you guys what kind of marks that leaves. Hopefully it shows up on the camera. That's a pretty precise mark versus a Sharpie or anything else, you know? Know exactly where we need to be. So we'll take our annular cutters, cut those out, and on to the next step. There's the annular cutter. Those things work pretty good, don't they?
Yeah.
All right. Are you gonna giggle?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we got the box tubing all mocked up. Everything's good. The whole bolt holes line up that we just drilled. Before we install it and bolt this seat on, I want to cut it to the length we need. So we're going to put a 45-degree cut on the end. Right now we're using an Evolution saw. It's a carbide tipped saw. It's a bimetal blade saw. So what that means is carbide is the one product and then silver braze is the other. So bi meaning two. But it'll cut this like this 1/4-inch wall box tubing like butter. So Blake, get your glasses on. Get your earplugs in, and we'll give her a cut here. Just want to make sure everything's good and tight on there. The other cool thing about this, you can see it there, you get a nice clean cut with very little sparks, and it's cool to the touch. There's virtually no cleanup. Absolutely awesome saw. My annular cutter bits weren't deep enough to go through 2-inch box tubing, so I gotta punch the initial holes up top, and now we'll go with a twist drill, get through to the bottom, hopefully. Trying to look so goofy. Alright guys, here we are. We are done with this project. Everything turned out top notch in my opinion. Super happy with everything, but just wanted to go over with it one more time with it complete and give you guys a quick shot of it complete and painted and fully assembled. So let me get around to the camera here and we'll show it to you. Right, Blake? Right. Alright, so this is what we got. Everything's mounted. We got the T-handle on. Once again, the box tubing was 2-inch box tubing, 1/4-inch wall. The uprights with the holes drilled in it over here for the top link are 1/2-inch steel. And then we had some 1/2-inch box tubing and solid round bar for the T-handle. And I made these pins. I had a buddy of mine machine them, and then I had these old cast steel heads that I thought were pretty cool, and I take welded those on. So all in all, super happy. Blake was a big help, and I think that's going to be a wrap. What do you think, Blake? You happy with it? Why don't you climb up there and sit in that pig? Don't scratch your paint or I'll kick your butt. Comfy?
Yeah.
Can you ride in a parade like that?
Yeah.
Can you ride in a, I don't know, in the field like that? All right. I think we're gonna take her for a little drive up the driveway, so we'll get a clip of that, and that'll be it. So thanks for checking us out. We will see you again next time for the next project.